The Witcher 3. Is it worth a buy? Let's read. The Witcher is a story-driven, next-generation open-world role-playing game set in a visually stunning fantasy universe that looked much better at E3, full of meaningful choices and impactful consequences. In The Witcher, you play as Geralt of Rivia, a monster hunter tasked with finding a child from an ancient prophecy.
So let's get the formalities out the way. Yes, it has been downgraded graphically on the PC. It doesn't look anywhere near as good as it did at E3 in 2013. So The Witcher 3, it's a role-playing game set in the time frame that I love. This sort of Game of Thrones-y kind of time, you know, the big fucking beards. And it looks really nice despite the downgrade. I mean, it would have looked a lot better if they hadn't downgraded it, but it still looks nice. The rivers, the trees, the swamps, the castles, the grass, the animals, the horses, the way that it gallops, the way that it's all animated. The people look amazing as well. It looks great. I mean, it's a very barren world. I mean, it's all trees and fucking fields. It's very little to look at, but the stuff that is there does look really nice. The odd broken bridge here and there. And it looks really, really nice. And the story's real nice. It has really believable characters. The characters are really, really well done. They look amazing. They've got beards, a lot of them. And it looks really, really good. And the story is about you're trying to find this girl who's the niece of one of your Witcher mates. And she's been lost for a while. And there's lots of side stories and the plot leads all over the place. Eventually you get to play, that's not so much a spoiler because it happens quite early on in the game, and you get to play, which is a nice touch as well. So the game sounds great and looks pretty great as well, but it isn't great. And you see, this is the big killer for me, because this game, I've played it now 11 hours. I've delayed my review for another day in the hope that it's going to get better, but it's just rinse and repeat all the same. And the big problem that kills this game for me is the fucking awful combat system and the way that the whole of the mechanics of the game work. See, it's eye candy and a great story and good lore. All them things are great, but the gameplay, which is the most important aspect of it, is fucking wank. It really, really is. Let's talk about the combat. I'm going to read a post that I found this morning that sums up exactly how I feel. 12 hours in, level 7. I'm still just jumping in circles, swinging around the sword in huge circle. Oh, I'm in danger. Roll out of the way, then back to crouching tiger, hidden dragging, leaping, swooping swordplay. It's silly. There's no real swordplay at all. It's over and over, attacking a targeted enemy until its health bar is 0 with no thought, just spam attack and roll when they attack back. I really have no use for magic or my crossbow. They are pointless. I just whip out my sword and hi-ya. Now for the movement, like getting stuck walking through trees, stuck on rocks. Well, plenty of that here. I tried to back up, do a 180 turn. My guy walks in this huge circle. The controls are extremely piss poor. The controls can be summed up like this: take a bad control setup, then do a piss poor job porting it for keyboard and mouse. The camera sucks. There are times when I can't even loot, just jumping around spamming E, hoping the camera opens up the loot menu. I really hope someone patches this horrible mess. Now, I agree with this guy, because that's exactly the experiences that I've had. You do not feel in 100% control. I'll give you a scenario. You've got 3 enemies to attack. So basically what you do is, if you're playing Skyrim, and I'm going to compare this to Skyrim because it's very similar. I mean, in Skyrim, let's be honest, you've got your sword, your shield, you've got your crossbow or your bow, and you've got your Fus Rodan fucking words, alright? Well, in Witcher has very similar stuff. He's got his sword, he's got the bow, and he's got his own powers. So you go into a situation in this where you've got 3 guys. You can't just go and attack the guy you want and then use WASD to just kind of maneuver yourself so you're not getting hit off the other guys. Maybe block one guy on your right, then slash the guy in front of you, then block the guy on your left, jump back a bit. And no. See, what this game does, it has fucking buttons that do that for you, because it's for fucking morons. It's for people that, when they were developing this game, they thought, oh, we can't expect them to use the directional keys and do it themselves. So what we'll do, this is a roll button for you. You press that, you will roll out of the fucking way. It's a dodge button. You press that, you'll dodge out of the fucking way, because you're too fucking shit to do it with the fucking WASD like what we've been doing for 25 fucking years of video games. No, you can't do that because it's for console sofa fucking controller jockeys who couldn't play a fucking game if it meant saving their fucking lives. That's what this game's tailored to. The combat is for fucking dummies. It really is. But it hinders you. So what they've done is they've put this lock-on system in, so you lock on to the fucking enemy, and you then just spam the buttons. Spam, 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 death. And that's the way it is, with every single battle. And then, oh, it's going to hit me, I'll roll out the way, press the button. Roll, where do you end up? I don't know, you'll end up somewhere over there. You'll roll that way, and you'll be somewhere over there when you come out of the roll. You don't know where, but it'll be round about there, you know what I'm saying? And it's just so fucking casual. It's so awful. I'm used to playing games where when you use your right mouse button to block, if you don't block at the right time, you don't block. In this, you can just hold your sword up like a fucking prick, and then the guy will come at you and he'll just hit your fucking sword. Bam, bam. Oh, I see you've got your sword up in the air. I'm gonna hit that. You know, I mean, fuck off. If that was realistically, you'd have your guts all hanging out because oh, you put your sword up there. Right, I'll cut your fucking guts out. I had to kill this griffin, and I had to use you with this other witcher who I called Dave. Don't know what his real name is. So me and Dave set this trap for a big griffin. When the griffin arrived, I realised, oh, that's a bit too high level for me, and I hadn't read the book on how to kill it either. So I said to Dave, I says, Dave, will you do me a favour? Will you stay here and keep fighting the griffin for about, I don't know, a month? And then I'll be back in a month, and then I'll kill it. And he says, Mac, mate, take 2 months if you want. It's fine. I won't die, and neither will the griffin. It's fine. So I just ran off, jumped on my horse, went and did a shitload of side quests and leveled up alchemy and all the rest of it. And every time I'd just ride past the point where Dave was, I'd say, alright, Dave. Hey, Dave, you alright? And he'd be fighting the griffin in the middle of the field. Alright, Mac, you alright, mate? Don't worry yourself. I'm still fighting the griffin. It's all good. And so how's that for immersion? It's just awesome. He's been there for fucking months. Never had a shit, never had a piss, never drank, ate or slept. He's just fighting away the griffin. Speaking of immersion, I went into the town and the people walk through each other like fucking ghosts. They also can't navigate a fucking horse that's standing there. They just walk into it. I mean, this is what £50 of AAA gaming looks like in 2015.
Oh, watch where you walk.
Ow!
Well, kings do the fighting. Peasants. Watch where you walk.
Poor, dark, and putrid.
Oh! I went to this guy's house. I instigated a conversation with him, and he said,
Witcher, could you help me find my brother? My brother ran off into the woods. Because he's a prick. He had no reason to go into the woods, but he ran off into the woods. And he's never been seen for 3 days. And I was wondering, Witcher, and all, if you could just find him in the woods. Go find my brother in the woods, Mr. Witcher.
And all the time I'm in his house, right in front of him, going through his fucking drawers. And I'm saying, so your brother's run off into the woods, has he? Oh, what's this? Oh, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll have that. Oh, there's a nice chest down here. Carry on. Tell us about your brother. I'm just going into your chest and I'm going to steal everything out of your chest. You don't mind, dear. And the guy said, no, my brother, he ran off into the woods. And I'm like, okay, he's in the woods. Yeah, carry on. Oh, I'll have that. That looks nice. Oh, and I see you're short of water, and there's some water over there. I'm just taking all your water, so you won't be able to have a drink today. There, I'll take that. Oh, lovely water. So my brother's in the woods, and would you go and get him, Mr. Witcher, man? And I'll pay you good. You'll pay me on top of the stuff that I've already fucking ransacked out your house. That's very nice of you. So, it's great, guys. You just go into the houses of people, and while they're telling you how they want you to help them, you're just fucking burgling them. And they don't give a fuck. They're just happy. And then when you do the quest, they'll give you more money, even though you ransacked the place. It's awful. It's just awful. It's fucking awful. Why do we stand for this kind of fucking garbage in 2015? What is wrong with everybody? 10 out of 10. It's 10 out of 10. Best game I've ever fucking played. It's open world, guys. Apparently. That's what it says. Open world game. No, it isn't. An open world game means that it's open. It means you can go from A to B without a loading screen. That's open. I can't in this. I can run around the little zone that I'm in, but if I want to go to a different zone, you have to go through a loading screen, even though there's a road on the map that says you can get there. So that's not open world. And on the subject of riding, can I just tell you, this horse is telepathic. It knows where you want to go, because when you're on the road with this horse, you don't even need to steer the No. If you hold down the left shift, like double tap it to send your horse into a gallop, and then just hold it down, you know what your horse does? It says, hey Mac, I know where you're going. You just sit tight, son. You eat all me fucking carrots. I'll take you there. And the horse will just navigate the entire fucking route for you. Isn't that just fucking hunky-dory dandy? What a pile of shit. So we've got shitty controls. We've got unbindable keys, because you have to use WASD on this. You've got a crashing port. You've got ghostly people instead of people. You've got burglaries that are just totally acceptable. You've got quests that will just never end. No one will ever die unless you're actually in the vicinity of them. It's all scripted bullshit nonsense. So what's the crafting like? Well, the crafting is just as hilarious, because in alchemy, which is the main crafting that a witch does, you have alchemy fairies. Yes. You see, let's say you make 3 potions of a certain thing, like spectre oil. I made some spectre oil. You then use one of them. When you go to bed on a night, the alchemy fairy comes and says, hey, do you have any alcohol on you? And if you have alcohol on you, you know what it does? I think it drinks the alcohol and then replaces the alcohol with all of the alchemy potions that you've used that day. It just replenishes your alchemy stuff. Isn't that nice of them? Isn't that nice? It's because it's made for sofa people. It's for the sofa brigade. We don't want them to have to go and redo more alchemy, do we? No, you don't have to do the alchemy shit. No, just buy some alcohol at the tavern, and the little alchemy fairy will drink the alcohol and give you all your alchemy stuff back. That's nice. See, when I play a game, I want to feel I'm the guy. I want to feel that I am the one that's doing everything. I don't like it when it does it for you. I mean, I even fought one battle while I was drinking my cup of fucking tea. It was a cutscene. It was like, I didn't even fight there. Did nothing. Did fuck all. The first griffin attack did fuck all. Hey, look, I'm the Witcher, right? So let me be the fucking Witcher. I can't pick up that fucking pot unless I'm right there picking it with me fucking hand. I can't hit him with me sword unless I'm right there. But you don't. You just have to be in the near vicinity. And then spam like you've never spammed before, and they will drop, I guarantee it. So there's all the hype. It's getting massive praise, this game, and it saddens me that people have such low standards for computer games. It seems to me that providing it looks good, providing it has good voiceovers and nice characters and good lore, that's all. It doesn't matter about the bad combat, the bad control, the ghostly people that walk through you. It doesn't matter about the fact that Dave's still fighting a fucking griffin 6 years later. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, Mac, because this game is on every billboard, on every website. Everybody's giving it 10 out of 10. There's an army of streamers masturbating over it on Twitch. It just doesn't matter, Mac. You don't matter, Mac. You've missed the point, Mac. We're all brainwashed. You are not. You might be free, Mac. Join us. Join us, Mac. Be one of us brainwashed fucking morons. Come and join us, Mac. It's fun. Come and join us. You won't worry anymore. You won't need the bell, Mac. Mac, you won't need the bell. Put the bell down. Come into our world. Pick up a controller and lie on the sofa. And all your worries will be gone. Join us in these type of shallow fucking games where all the stuff you've mentioned just doesn't... Fuck off! Let's wrap this up. The conclusion I've come to is this. If you are the kind of player, and there's nothing wrong with you if you are, let's get this wrong, the moron things, just forget that, that's just figure of speech. If you're the kind of player that isn't bothered about combat, that isn't bothered about the whole control mechanism being half-arsed, it's like you just have to be near enough there to make the hit or near enough there to loot the object. There's no real precision involved. There's no real tactics or strategy. It's just a spam roll kind of system, but has a really deep, meaningful story with some amazingly good animation, decent cutscenes for once, and some really believable characters in a beautiful looking world that's got a lot of content. 35 hours for the main game and another 200 apparently for all the mundane side quests. If you're looking for that, then you have got yourselves a great game here. It is worth £50 because of the size of the game. If though you like decent combat, if the whole essence of the game has to be built around the control and the combat, then keep well away from this, because you will not find any decent combat or control in this. It does it all for you. Everything, every button press is an animation that just takes away control of you. You roll, you don't know where you're gonna fucking end up. It's just so cinematic. The whole thing is a cinematic experience. That's what it is. It's not a thoroughbred combat game, and I don't think it was meant to be, and that's why it's not worth £50 in my opinion. It's just a kind of missed opportunity for me. I would love to see something like this in first person with chivalry style control system, with a proper open world where you don't have to have a loading screen just to get to different points of your fucking continent. Fair enough if you had to cross a sea, but just to get from one small area of your continent to another, having to use a loading screen is bullshit. It's just, you know, the whole thing lacks immersion for me. There's too many immersion breakers there. It's just aimed at casuals. It just is. It's just a big casual cinematic experience for people who are into that kind of thing. And it's a typical console game. That's the only way I can describe it. So there you go. £50, in my opinion, not worth a buy.